So I think one of the tough ones around saying about accountability is that people have got to start pretty early, and you've got to start essentially at junior high and high school. And you've got to get involved in the community and help people both aspire and get ready to move into those jobs. There's just not a lot available. It's not an excuse. It's just that we have a lot of leaders who are accountable. They're not going to get the job done. And we have a lot of leaders who are not accountable, and they're going to get away with it for a while because there's things that the organization values a lot more than increasing representation. But I think in summary, most companies know what the playbook is. They all have the same one. It's the ones that really get good at it, and the ones that really get good at it are the ones that end up saying we have to increase representation. And they either beat all the other companies for a skill base that is smaller, or they figure out how to grow their own. And I think that's the only way you succeed. Accountability cuts two ways. I think it's increasingly incumbent on particularly our community leaders and organizations like this to kind of take charge. Our demographics are so compelling in terms of, whatever the number is, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 1 out of every 4 or so entries into the workforce will be Hispanic. Our use of social networking and mobile and all that is higher than even Caucasians. There's $1 trillion Hispanic market already that's only going to grow. The workforce will be increasingly Hispanic. We follow probably the most successful generation in the US, maybe humankind, in terms of what they've done with the country. And now we have a big demography coming, and I think accountability on our side to figure out how we take a really, really great community model that was always about let's help people in the community, let's get them, to a model that starts now talking about moving into politics, moving into government, that's great, but moving into business is where we got to go. And we have to get going early, and we can't let kids get beat up for getting good grades. And we have to find the finest and the best of them and accelerate them. As I've worked with community groups, there is a tendency to want to kind of move toward the average in the middle and to help everybody. We just got to get, I think, a little more aggressive about merit and saying, if that kid has figured out how to stand out, then we got to help them, and we got to improve our throughput and our yield up into, the bigger jobs, the bigger schools. So I think the accountability runs both ways. I think that for people who have been in a dominant culture, the time will come where they don't have to be accountable anymore. The demographics are so compelling that the accountability is going to shift over to our side to say, we're providing leaders, we're providing people who can be successful. We're taking advantage of multicultural, we're taking advantage of social networking, we're taking advantage of youth, we're taking advantage of all that, and we know how to do it. So that's a long answer, but I think most companies have it. It's tough to be accountable. Some guys are good at it, and I'll push that the companies I work for are getting better at it. But the accountability is going to swing to the momentum we have around demography and our responsibility